What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and hope that you and the family are having a blessed Saturday. I've got some news updates for you. This is your breaking news stimulus and stimulus check update. Now, for those of you that follow me here on the channel, you saw in my last video that what I'd like to do for my viewing community is assemble a master comprehensive list of all the city, state, and county stimulus checks that are available to you right now. And I'd like to keep you updated as things change, as new ones pop up, because a lot of people only know about the federal level checks. They know there's been 3 and they're waiting to see if there's going to be a 4th. A lot of people are saying it's not going to happen. But here's the thing. They don't realize that in the American Rescue Plan, that last stimulus package we had, President Joe Biden approved $350 billion to go out to states, counties, and cities for them to use for their local residents however they see fit. And they've been passing stimulus packages pretty frequently, just recently, and it seems like new checks are popping up almost every other day now. And I got a new one to report to you on. Take a look at this, you guys. $1,400 direct stimulus payments to random low to moderate income residents in this county. And so what I'm going to do is assemble this list. If you know of any programs that are going on in your local area, if you could do me a favor, comment them down below, and I'm going to assemble that list, and I'm going to use my viewing audience, your support, to help create this so that way everyone here knows what's available. Because what we're hearing is, believe it or not, all these programs popping up, people don't know about them. They're saying about 90% of the people that are eligible don't even know that these programs exist. And in many cases, you have to apply. And a lot of people are saying, why is that the case? Well, that's just the way it is right now for some of these programs. You're going to have to apply. But so it's very important that you know about these. I want to make sure that you do. So we're going to be assembling that. Stay tuned here on the channel, and also going to get you caught up on the latest with what's happening on a federal level for potentially a 4th check. Now, the current Build Back Better bill, it has stalled in the Senate. I'll be sure to keep you up to date on negotiations as that unfolds, what's happening in Congress, and everything with economic news. But in addition to that, I'm also going to get you the latest today in this video on what's happening between Ukraine and Russia and the war. So let's go ahead and dive right in, get you caught up. But before we do, if you could do me a quick favor, it just takes a second. If you appreciate these updates, just smash that like button for me. It helps me out a ton. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments. Share this out if you think it's going to help out other people. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date, totally free. You can come join the Ram fam. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. If you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. And I've been getting a lot of questions lately, so thinking about doing some Instagram lives, so that way live we can talk and I can answer your questions. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in, and let's start off with some video footage of what's happening right now today between Russia and Ukraine, and then we're going to talk about stimulus checks.
I've got a bit of an update as the city is waking up in Kiev. And in fact, Vladimir Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, has posted a fresh video on Twitter above ground. And he says there's a lot of fake information out there calling for our army to put down their arms as if there's an evacuation. Here's the thing, he says, I'm here. And we won't put down our weapons. We'll protect our country. And that's just been posted, and there's been heavy fighting overnight, so that will go out this morning to the Ukrainian people. The other thing that we've had from the office of the president is a quote where he says, we knew that tonight was going to be difficult because the Russian Federation has used all of its resources to bring in the most possible harm to our cities. I would like to say that it has failed. We are in full control of the territory and of our country, and that has to be the global headline this morning. There was an assault on the city of Kyiv that has been going on for the last 12 to 14 hours, but Ukrainian forces and what I imagine to be Ukrainian civilians and citizens have at least for now been able to keep the Russian army out of the center of the city. Certainly, we know there's fighting on the outskirts, in the suburbs of the city. We know that paratroopers are on the ground at that airfield about 15 miles away. But it does seem as of this morning that Russian troops are unable to penetrate that innermost part of the city.
So there you have it, you guys. That was this morning from Ukraine, as they said they're still standing, defending their country. And we had an update from the president of Ukraine. He released it on Twitter. Now, also, we're hearing that there is tons of support around the world for Ukraine. Take a look at this video clip.
Right now, Ukraine is enduring a 3rd day of the Russian invasion, with Vladimir Putin's military making gains as it rolls closer to Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. But the Ukrainians are putting up a resistance, with the British Ministry of Defense noting that Ukraine remains in control of its key cities. Ukrainian President Zelensky is tonight warning about an imminent attack on Kyiv. He had previously posted this video to show Ukrainians that he and other key government officials were remaining in the city, saying, "We defend our independence. That's how it will go." And Ukrainians aren't the only ones showing resistance to Putin's invasion. So are thousands of Russians. The Associated Press reports that more than 1,600 people were detained at rallies in 53 cities across Russia yesterday. But it's not just grassroots protests. There has also been notable dissent from high-profile Russians. Dmitry Muratov, Nobel Peace Prize laureate and editor of one of Russia's few independent newspapers, published the Friday edition in both Russian and Ukrainian as a show of solidarity. Russian tennis star Andrei Rublev is the 7th-ranked player in the world. Last night, after advancing to the final of the Dubai Championship, Rublev took out a marker to make a statement about the war in Ukraine.
2 sets, but Rublev said not so fast. And he might just have a message. Andrei Rublev. I think we can get behind that. The Russian.
Roman Abramovich, owner of Britain's Chelsea Football Club, is one of the oligarchs who opposition leader Alexei Navalny says is close to Putin. Today, Abramovich's daughter, Sophia, posted this anti-war message on her Instagram story, calling popular Russian support for the war merely Kremlin propaganda. Even more striking is the daughter of Dmitry Peskov, the Kremlin spokesman, who also took to Instagram and posted the words "No war" over a black screen. In Russia, this kind of speech isn't merely controversial, it is criminal. You go to jail, or worse, for these kinds of messages. And yet, the resistance continues.
Wow, so there you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. We're seeing a lot of support for Ukraine, and even Russians are saying they do not support the war. They're saying that we need to end this. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll be sure to keep you up to date as more information rolls out on that in Ukraine. Now, in addition to that, let's talk about stimulus checks, and I'll keep you up to date here as to everything going on a 4th federal level check. A lot of people are saying they'd like to see that. They feel like Congress had kind of promised that we were going to be getting a $2,000 stimulus check, and it hasn't come. Now, we also received word that there's still a leftover $800 billion from previous stimulus packages, which is enough for 2 more $1,400 stimulus checks. Now, I'll keep you up to date on that. Right now, the Build Back Better bill currently does not have a check included. We're hearing that there's negotiations taking place for that. I'll keep you up to date. We're hearing new phases of stimulus are going to be coming up in 2022, and we'll see if there's any direct payments for people. If there is or is not, either way, I'll keep you up to date. However, we are getting lots of updates on states and counties and cities passing their own stimulus checks, and I've got a new one for you. Take a look. This is the latest. This one comes from Johnson County. It approves a program to send out $1,400 direct stimulus payments to random low, moderate income residents. And very soon, I'd like to update you with a list of all the ones available across the United States. Now, this one says that Johnson County's Board of Supervisors voted this past Thursday morning to create a program that would send out $1,400 stimulus payments to roughly 2,500 randomly selected residents who qualify. Now, the 3-2 vote came after a tumultuous 2 weeks where information requested by Supervisor John Green from the U.S. Treasury delayed the vote, but we heard that they signaled that they were ready to approve the program on Wednesday. Now, under the new program, $3.5 million from Johnson County's and Iowa City's American Rescue Plan Act, so as I mentioned, this came from that last stimulus package, will be used to create the Direct Assistance Program, sending $1,400 stimulus payments in a lottery-style system where recipients are going to be randomly selected. Now, the county narrowed those who qualified to low to moderate income Johnson County residents or someone making under $45,370 a year for a family of 1 who can prove that they were negatively impacted by the pandemic. Now, this includes experiencing the following: food insecurity, housing insecurity, unemployment or reduction in hours, exclusion from federal stimulus programs and or expanded unemployment benefits, enrollment in one of several federal programs aimed at addressing several effects of poverty. Now, if this sounds like you and you might be eligible, according to this article, Johnson County Grants Coordinator Donna Brooks said in an email that she is not able to give an estimate as to the time of when the applications will be open or when the funds will start being distributed, but Brooks said that the county will have an updated timeline and information for the program on March 7th. So in about a week or so, they're going to be giving out more details, but can't provide additional dates until they get the materials translated. She said that this may take about 2 or 3 weeks, depending on the workflow from the service provider for translations. So you guys, a new one coming in this county. And I mentioned to you other city programs, state programs, and I will keep you up to date on more here on the channel. So you guys, that is the latest county stimulus check. And as I mentioned, I'm going to be putting together that comprehensive list, keeping you up to date on everything unfolding. And as always, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, take a quick second, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps out my channel a ton. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining me on a Saturday. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date, don't forget, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, come join the Ram fam, totally free. And if you got any specific questions for me, hop onto Instagram, shoot me a DM at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much again for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.